This is Games from the Cellar, the board gaming podcast.
So this is Adventure Tactics, Domianne's Tower. And there's a lot of pieces, so it takes us a little while to kind of get everything set up. That's what we're working on right now.
I think we're getting pretty good at it after the third week.
So this is our third
It's
time.
definitely a board game that wanted to be a video game.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that, though.
I suppose. I'm not sure I'd put it quite that succinctly, but it certainly does have scenarios that you do. So it kind of reminds me of Mechs and Minions, although the flavor to it, the flair to it is very different. Mechs and Minions sort of has a comedy routine to it.
So from my understanding, this is similar to Gloomhaven in that you have characters you control, you run through different scenarios based on what the campaign in the book says, and then depending on the outcome, you get different consequences that change your characters and you progress into the next scenario.
So it's a bit of a choose your own adventure, except the adventure sort of gets choosed when you fail at something.
Yes.
Or succeed.
So
it's a dungeon crawler.
It's a
lot of pieces, a lot of
Yeah.
cards. It's
Well-
a deck buildy sort of play to it.
I don't know that I'd call it a dungeon crawler. It's more like a string of boss fights.
Yes, I will give you that. Because there's no connection in the map. It's not like you're walking through a
we're not
particular
exploring
category.
anything. You put down the square grids, and they have a whole collection, but they're not distinct at all, right? There's a bunch of tiles that are each 8 by 8.
Yeah, you can play chess when you're not doing this.
Yeah, I mean there's no terrain or anything like that so far.
We've had the brick wall and a wall of fire.
Those are pieces that get added in.
Yeah,
There's
there
no
was a
terrain
guy
on
with
the map itself.
there was a guy with abilities that spawned them. I don't think
So
that counts as terrain.
We've done 4 scenarios at this point, right?
More than 4.
5. We've done 5.
Well, we're
scenarios.
5th level, but we started at
2.
first.
No, it was the goblins, the wraiths.
We failed the one. They stole the baby.
Yeah, then we skipped
Don't give away the
skipped-
storyline.
We skipped the ooze, and then we fought the slime lady.
I think we did get a level even when we lost the baby, didn't we?
I thought
We
we
did. That's only 3. Oh, the statues and then the slime lady. So you're right, 4 scenarios.
Okay. So that makes sense, and that's why we're 5th level. So this is going to be our 3rd night playing it, but we're going to be playing our 5th scenario on this run. And you roll dice for damage, just like a good old traditional D&D or something like that. Each scenario is kind of in a box. You've got your players out on the board. It comes with miniatures. We're playing with the stand-ups because the art is so much nicer on the stand-ups. And you got health points, and they take them from you, and you give them to them. And the way you decide what attack or defense or healing or whatever it is you do is by what cards you pull up in your hand. So and you deck build. Every time you raise up a level, you get a chance to put new cards into your deck and to raise your level on something. So it's kind of like D&D in a box, and you don't have to have a DM.
It's it's fun. I mean, I definitely think the appeal here is the leveling up.
Yeah, I agree.
And
that's always been the appeal on any of these games, including D&D as far as I'm concerned, is the ability for your character to rise.
So when you level up, you can choose from any of the 5 base classes or any of the elite classes that you qualify for. So, for example, the next time we level up, I need to take a level in Wizard. So the level after that, I can take a level in Ninja, because I'll have levels in
You'll met the prerequisite
Archer and Rogue and Wizard, so then I'll get to be a Ninja. And there's, you get the level up cards, and they give you different features and passives, and you add the cards to your deck, and it's cool. It's fun. Yeah. It's very enjoyable.
So let's go save a baby.
Well, I was just going to add something. I mean, it is kind of rare when a game makes it out onto the table 3 nights in a row.
That's actually really impressive for us.
It has been convenient that it has been just the 3 of us for the past 3 nights.
Yeah.
But we all wanted to play on the road again. But this came out. We tried it. Let's play it again. And here we are on the 3rd night playing it. I funded this on Kickstarter back in 2019. I received it in the fall of 2020.
And we're just getting to it now.
We're just getting to it now. Because if you remember in 2020, 2021, 2022...
It was an awful quiet time for gaming.
Yeah. It was Board Game Arena, helped out a lot to catch, to
get us through the hard time. But yeah, you're right.
So now it's nice to be able to pull out something like this, and nobody has to study for hours to be a DM,
and we're allowed to breathe in the same space. It's nice.
Exactly. Yeah, it's lovely.
It's perfect.
There we go.
All
right. So we'll play it, and then afterwards we'll talk about all the problems it has.
Thanks, Sam.
The perfect game,
really
and you're going to complain. So hey, we're back.
Yes, we are.
Once again, we kicked some butt and took names.
We actually did this time. We got
two solid battles.
We even got the bonus objectives.
Yeah.
So each
we got the goodies.
Each encounter here has the regular objective, which is basically do you win, and then the bonus objective, which if you complete the bonus objective, you get bonus goods.
You win special. You kill the creatures in a particular order.
Although, sometimes they're easier than others. They haven't all been terribly interesting, but I do like that there are bonus objectives there.
Yeah, it's one more thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a challenge.
And I agreed with you earlier that it felt like when we lost that one, like we lost the baby. Let's rack it up and do it again. Because if it was a video game, we would have
done
that.
It's
until you get to the top tier. It's like you don't play for like 3 stars. You got to get the 5 stars.
Right? Yeah. You gotta.
What are you guys talking about? This is an adventure. You got to do well on the first shot, or you're taking all of the gravity out of the situation. It's like, hey, you lost the baby, all right? It's not like you get do-overs in real life. You lost the baby. You go for it. I mean, you have to do it now. You're rescuing the baby.
He's right. I remember in real life when the Child of Destiny was stolen by a horde of undead wraiths, there wasn't anything I could do about it.
And it felt bad. It hurt inside. Yeah. But yeah, we pushed forward. We powered through. And so eventually, hopefully, we'll come and
I don't
come
think
back
so.
in touch
I think
with
that
it.
child has been eaten by wraiths.
Is that his destiny? Is that what his destiny was?
I think that was
Do wraiths
be eaten by
even eat? Yeah, that's right. It's some destiny.
Well, there was also that one random giant hobgoblin in that fight.
The one we killed, though.
Yeah,
that was Riley.
Was that the one
right?
that was in front of the giant?
I don't think we've actually
ooze,
killed anything.
We knocked him out.
I guess now that you mention it,
this is Pokemon where they faint.
Yeah,
it's like the A-Team. Yeah, the helicopter crashes into the cliff, but everybody's
thinking
okay.
Back for the fight against the Griffin Lord. If we didn't complete the bonus objective, there was a item added called the Griffin Lord lives. So maybe he's dead.
Yeah, I think
because we didn't get.
I think we have slayed
Griffin Lord
these
lives.
creatures. We have slain.
Maybe we could have called. You mean like we could have called him to fight on our side or something?
No.
Okay, so this is getting pretty philosophical. I can't help but think
Random
that somebody might want to be interested in how the game plays.
Oh,
as opposed.
Okay. It's a fun game. It's definitely. It feels lightweight, but it's surprisingly intense once you get going.
There is the geometry is a little more complicated than it looks like it's going to be at first.
It does. I mean, it is kind of like settling into my mind as this is how to win the encounter. You want to deal a lot of damage, right? You can't
and not die.
That's not important.
It is.
Well, to Sam, it's not.
To Sam,
it's not. He's just decided that those 2 healing potions are his all the time. So he just goes headfirst into battle, gets himself killed, and says, "It's all right. I get to magically pop up."
Has there been a battle that you haven't been knocked out yet?
No, there isn't one.
And several of them you've been knocked out twice, and you've used both of the potions to save yourself.
This is true. This is true.
Guys, you didn't beat me to them. That's what matters.
And I've gotten better about using that offensively, and the fact that I can just
you
stand
can
up.
Min-max your way to do that. So I keep
I'm
telling
just
you,
playing the game.
You need to be. You need to throw yourself into your character more. And this is a board game. This is not an RPG. You're not really playing a character. But at the same time, you kind of get a feel for the
Look,
person
John,
you're
if we
playing.
ever play an RPG, I promise I do more role-playing in RPGs.
Oh, well, John really got into it when the option was for me to go ahead and kill the bad guy, but the cleric would get toasted as well.
I did advocate for fireballing the cleric.
Yes. But we fireball that cleric.
We found a way.
It worked out.
And Chris figured out a way to do it without completely slaughtering
the
him.
cleric lived. I was just role-playing my character who was confident.
Kill the cleric with him. Kill the cleric with him. That's what you were saying the whole time.
Burn him. We don't
Burn
need her.
the cleric.
I was confident the cleric would live, and we needed to kill
Did we not use both healing potions that turn?
No, we didn't. We had another potion around.
I did not use a healing potion. I actually kind of feel like that's cheating. Personally, I think that you shouldn't.
It's kind of a weird game mechanic.
Well,
it's one that you fully utilize.
It's the get out of jail free cards.
And look, it's like they gave you 2 healing potions an encounter. I'm going to use 2 healing potions per encounter.
Well, that's why we have you carry them.
Yes, right.
I just, it's like you got the resource. You don't get bonus points for not using them.
And you do role playing, right? Other than the DM?
I have.
Oh, you're a DM, aren't you?
I DM.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, we just figured that out. Okay, cold, heartless.
I don't normally get to play.
Okay, so all in all, I'll be honest with you. We were on encounters like 2 and 3 of this game in previous sessions. I'm like, well, it works, but it wasn't grabbing me. This time, both of these encounters, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I like the way this is working, and we're starting to figure out the angles. And when you first come on, the baddies have like 75 hit points, and you're like, holy guacamole, how are we going to do 75? But then you manage to wheedle them down. So we're getting them left, right, and center. And it manages to work. So I think each of us really is bringing a whole different set. I mean, Sam, you're the machine gun. Chris, you're the one who brings your buddies with you, and you're always throwing a skeleton up in front of somebody who's managing to capture an awful lot of the attack. So you're soaking up a lot of damage.
Oh, for sure.
Without actually soaking up a lot of damage. I'm able to do healing, but I'm also part wizard, and I'm now part shaman, so I've got some other stuff. So I'm kind of a blend, but I kind of help keep everybody up and running and doing their thing. And so I think we've got a nice blend of characters that's making it work. And I think that's added to the value of the game, as each of us are kind of playing our own game.
I agree. I've appreciated like the way the tactics have come out. Like this is a deeper game than it seemed at first.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some oddities, right? I mean, we've said some nice things, but there are some not so nice things as well.
A couple of the cards, the wording on it.
Yeah, the wording in some places is strange, and just kind of subpar, I feel like, for card-based games.
But it has been few and far between. I mean, it's not like every other card has something wrong with it.
I mean, I guess.
There's just a couple, and that's what you're kind of stuck
right.
on.
And it's mostly with the bad guy abilities.
Yeah.
Where
if undefeated Griffin is if a non-undefeated.
Yeah, if there is not at least one undefeated Griffin, which like you can parse it, but it's a little weird. And then stuff like the enemy behavior isn't always well defined.
Right.
And even when it is well defined, you're like, why would he do that? We just did Lord Calfec, who kind of runs away a lot.
Yeah, he spent the whole time running away. And then like the guy before him, the Griffin Lord, who if you just go exactly by the book, right? He stands in one place and hits the same guy over and over until they drop dead, which is strange considering all of his abilities are about leaping across the battlefield and like leaving behind obstacles and barriers, which you'd think he would move across the field.
That was kind of like the way we played him. Whenever he had a leap attack, we made him go to a different
That was
character.
how we played him, but that's not what the rules said.
Yeah, we added a little flavor. And, of course, there's nothing wrong with house ruling a game with something like that. I thought that added some flavor to it.
I agree. I thought that made it more interesting.
And they could have put a little bit more flavor on the cards, too. They could have put a little more emotion, a little bit more drama. But that's fine.
They could have benefited, I think, from a second pass on the enemy behaviors, just kind of standardizing it, right? Like adding some...
And maybe an aspiring fiction author to write through some of the cards to make things sound a little more desperate or a little bit more commanding.
Yeah. I've enjoyed I've enjoyed some of the writing in the storybook, right? Where we got the whole intro where like because we lost the child of destiny, the necromancer blasted us with dark magic that sapped our will to fight and tore at our souls. And I was like, cool. And then we took a little bit of damage. It's like, oh, well, I was expecting us to start we all start the encounter weakened or something, and that could have been bad, but it was like 5 damage. 6 damage. And then there are some things that just kind of happen because of the structure of the game. Like there are no game overs, right? So like this last encounter, that's spoilers, I guess, if anybody cares about that. We fought the necromancer, and it's like, okay, if you beat him and you get the bonus objective, you advance to the second level of the tower and get a bunch of loot. If you fail the bonus objective, then you are forced to flee from his endless horde of undead and
to the second level of the tower.
Advance to the second level of the tower. And if you totally fail to defeat him, you flee from his dark magic. His taunting laughter follows you down the corridor, will haunt you forever, and you advance to the second level of the tower.
So you're going to the second level of the tower.
Yeah.
You don't get
So choose your own adventure choose between page 26, 26, and 26.
Yeah, but how many of them were gain a level? How many of them were gain rewards and stuff?
So, you advance one level no matter what. You get... They have a nice system set up where you have like a party supply and a party deck of random encounters and stuff. So, if you do really well, you get good things added to your supply and to your random encounters. And if you do poorly, you lose good things and you have bad things added.
Maybe they just ran into it's like, man, we don't want to put people into an endless loop here. So
right, and I get it. Right, they don't want to say game over, you suck.
Well, and they can only create so many scenarios.
Oh yeah,
so they're only going to have so many encounters for you to choose from. So they got to keep kicking you along. It's like when you're going through the haunted house. I mean, the baddies are always keep going. The exit's that way.
And
I got to keep pushing you.
I get that. It sticks out sometimes, like
does.
this, where it's like no matter what, you're going to that second floor.
Yep.
And it'd be nice, like, hey, you're
Next
going in,
time,
but
don't read so much, Sam.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like,
Only
they
read
wrote
what happens.
They wrote the
leave the rest.
scenario.
There's 3 different scenarios. There's 3 different options. Don't look and see what the rewards are.
That's half the fun. We're
No,
not going to play
I'm
this
gonna-
8 times.
No, but that's
But you
all
can
right.
look through the book later
just
on.
focus on the story.
I'm just saying they didn't need to have this be the first floor, right? This could have been like the necromancer's tower, and if we beat him, we go to the next location. If you
To the next
fail,
tower.
you go somewhere else. Then it makes more sense. Like, oh, we lost. We ran away. He stole the Child of Destiny, which apparently goes to the market, so you could then buy the Child of Destiny at a wandering
So you're saying the
trader.
Child of Destiny is alive?
Apparently, well, if you brought the Child of Destiny
you better not be
here,
reading ahead.
it says it right there. Anyway, you could have gone to a second tower, and that would make more sense to me than
He's the guy that
fleeing
goes to the
into the
last
second
page of the
floor.
book to find out.
The mystery story, and then talks about, I know who did it. Anyway.
I don't know too
So
many people
back
like
to
that.
adventure.
I like the surprise.
Back to adventure
Okay,
tactics.
and so I want to talk for a minute about the leveling up before we go too much farther, because I started out as a cleric, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm going to chew my way up through cleric, because if I'm going to be a cleric, I'm going to be all in. And I got up to 3rd level, and I got some real nice kind of bennies when you do that. But I looked at 4th and I looked at 5th, and I'm like, they're just kind of okay. They're not big jumps. So it kind of forces you to say, well, maybe you need to start looking at the other character classes. And I ended up doing 1 level as a wizard, because 1st level as a wizard gave me kind of more interesting and more powerful stuff than keeping on going up as a cleric. So you would think getting 4th level as a cleric would make you pretty badass, and it just kind of doesn't. So and then I'm looking at more wizard. I'm like, well, no, I may as well go with shaman, because that again. So the leveling up, and this is just this is my old school D&D, where you pretty much pick a class and you roll in it. And this game is much more about everybody's multi-class. I can't imagine. I mean, obviously, if you're going to go to 10th level and all the character classes,
You gotta have at least 2.
5. You're going to need at least 2.
Yeah, I mean, each character class goes to 5. So.
Yeah, and I think the specialty classes are the ones where you kind of get the nifty stuff. And for those, you need to get a couple of basic pieces.
I've looked through some of the classes have definitely received more attention than others from the designers. Like I picked the Ranger class, and the first 2 levels you get some neat stuff, and then the final 3 levels you just get like
kind of
one
flattens
extra.
out.
You get 1 extra copy of cards you got from the basic Archer class, and I think at 5th level you got like a minor passive that was neat. But
to turn a 5th level necromancer, and I get a skeleton army, and for the dice card I get another plague touch, which I don't know what that one does, but it sounds cool, so
yeah,
I'm going for it.
I haven't gotten any dice cards.
This will be my 4th.
Mm.
But
maybe I just haven't gone for them.
I've with the wizard, I went to I'm level 2 wizard. That got me a dice card, and that one's really nice because it allows me to reroll a black or wild magic is what it gave me, to where when I do an area of effect, which is my fireball, it gives me a black die to go with it.
Maybe I should get a second level on wizard.
That would be good.
That's the thought. If you get an extra die, I kind of thought about that too with my fireball.
Yeah.
Because I could still get a second level wizard, even though I've started doing shaman. I can do a second level wizard.
And I guess part of this is like, if we play this again, which I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to finish this.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to finish it. If we play through the campaign again
and
at
we're
some
what,
point.
6th level now or 7th?
This was 7th.
I'm 5 and 2, so I'll be level 7.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we will level up to 7, which we're due to do. It's just we haven't done it tonight.
Yeah.
We'll do that next time we get to it.
But like playing through again, I think the appeal for me would be looking ahead more and being like, okay, so mechanically, what can I manage?
You mean like reading the book or studying the character?
Studying
what
the
they could
classes. Sorry,
Gotcha.
like character.
Because I'm going
building.
to take over the book. I want that suspense that.
Okay.
You're keeping it away from Sam, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, just give it to me while we're running the encounters.
Okay.
No, don't give it to him at all. Just run the encounter. Read the part that we get. And it's like, well, maybe you needed to be defeated this time, Sam, if you wanted to see what the defeat thing was.
And you know what? I've done that in video games, actually. I've gone through
Don't doubt it.
all
Gone
of
and
the...
sandbagged to see just how bad
I just
it
want to
gets.
see what happens.
Gotcha.
Um,
But there are expansions for this now, which is basically they add some more characters. They add another adventure.
yeah, there's some side quests. I mean, it's...
Well, no,
it's-
I mean, there is an expansion
Oh,
for
okay.
it now.
I mean, it's mechanically, it's a decently interesting tactics game, right? It's basically just boss fights, but boss fights are cool, right?
Yeah, and this last one had a little bit of geometry. There was some stuff on the
There
map
was
that you needed to walk
actually,
around and work
that was
around.
interesting. I didn't like having to put out 8 little tiles every time he used his bone prison ability, but
It would be
that's
nice to
at
have
the
just
end
a
of the
ring that
game.
you could kind of drop down, but I understand that they're removable
yeah,
and stuff. So.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
And it took us a
it's-
little while to figure out the
it was cool.
tower
like
around
we said,
the...
it kind of wants to be a video game.
Yeah, but I think they did a pretty good job of it. I mean, we're enjoying
I don't know
it.
if I'd
We're not
agree with
staring
that.
at a computer screen, and we're getting
Oh
kind of
no,
like that vibe.
I agree. It's fine as a board game, but there's a lot of elements here that would benefit from just happening for you.
I am curious as like how this would play with 4, because we're playing with 3, and we're missing like certain elements.
Especially this last guy had major abilities that didn't come into play because there's only 3 of us.
So I think they did a pretty good job of. I mean, we haven't just sit there and gone like walked in and go boom, you're dead.
No.
I mean, there's been challenges.
There's been
Oh
peril.
yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's character keeps dying. That gives you an idea.
I
Well,
kind of like
I've
the idea
got-
of like when we go to like a May Game-a-thon or something like that we would, pick 5 people and we could run through this campaign.
Just try and
You
power
could
through
do
it.
it in a day and just blow through the whole
You
thing.
could do
It's
it.
like, hey guys, we're gonna be busy for the next like 6 hours.
That's
Yeah, it's
Thursday.
basically like a
Yeah.
civilization game.
Yeah.
That'd be enjoyable. That'd be fun.
Because there's no, you would basically just be leveling up and then resetting the boards, and because right now what we're doing is we're playing 2 sessions, we're packing everything up,
and once,
bringing it back out.
And if you were going to do it that way, you could set up you could like take an extra 15 minutes and set up all of the class stuff and the level up stuff so that it'd be easier to grab.
And I'd like that because I saw like wizard and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the level 5 wizard, but then I saw necromancer and I was like, I really want skeletons.
Yeah.
And so I decided I'm going to go for level 5 wizard. So I'll be level 5. I'm level 5 now. The next round, who knows? Maybe I'll keep leveling up my wizard and make him a 5 and 5, or will I go shaman or cleric or I don't know.
Yeah. You got 10 levels total, so
2 more I can add.
Yep,
3 more.
A couple more around. So
All right. I really want to mention 2 mechanical quibbles with the game.
Okay.
The first is range and movement. When you're moving, you can't go diagonally, but when you're counting for range, you count diagonally. It's a weird choice.
I kind of think it works.
It makes ranged characters much better than melee characters. Because
that's fine.
All of us are ranged.
Gee,
I have my magic staff.
Actually, I don't think I'm ranged anymore.
Aren't you an archer?
No, I'm a ninja.
Oh.
You give up the bow cards?
I gave up. No, I still have them all. I just now have a range of 1.
Really?
Oh, you're right. Let me think about that. Maybe I don't
I think
do
you've
that.
already put the cards in. That's
You have.
that's
we
a
haven't
card
moved
played.
the
You
next
have
encounter.
forgotten how to shoot an arrow
Yeah.
more than 10 feet.
I'm now thinking about all of my cards that say attack 2 different targets with a basic attack. Maybe that doesn't work. That's a shame. Ninjas are cool, but
Who knows? You can make it work.
I don't think so.
This means you're going to be up close to people if you do it.
I mean, they do have
Laying down next
they
to
do
them.
get
maybe,
to roll.
Maybe he's right lying down.
They do
Okay.
get to roll a black and a red die, which is neat. But anyway, way off track. So that's weird.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can be at a range of 4 from someone and they can't reach you with their 4 movement because when you're counting range, you can count diagonals.
I got used to it pretty quick.
I mean, it's you can get used to it, but it's strange, and it definitely
okay. So
throws
what's your other one?
the damage is incredibly variable, like just because it's all die based, and a lot of the dice are weighted towards extremes, and so I feel like I would enjoy the game a bit more if the damage was less variable.
Yeah, I
but
like.
that's
I like.
you-
I don't. I like.
You like to reduce risk.
Yeah.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, and
I mean-
I'm perfectly happy with
But I
that
mean,
die
like
that can do
the-
6 or can do 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was
I'm
great.
Not
when
a fan.
when one of my skeletons took that damage, and it was like it took 2.
Right.
When it could, and the
could've
next
been
time,
12.
the next time it took 12.
Yeah.
So it was obliterated, but it got an extra turn.
It was the same attack. It just
Yep.
Yeah.
But it would have been
I
against somebody else if
would
it was.
prefer less variance because it's all over, right?
Yeah, but that just adds
I was going to say, I think these dice have personality.
that adds the excitement to it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
disagree.
Yeah, I think
All
these
right.
dice have personality.
We'll have to agree to disagree then.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to call numbers here?
Yeah, let's call numbers.
Well, I think you were the greatest meta gaming it, so you go first.
So, it's a strong 7. There's a lot of character, and I'm having fun.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
whole nature
that's-
of a game like this.
I'm having fun. I don't know that I would play this game by myself.
No, absolutely not.
I would not play this by myself because I enjoy the banter that we have where
Yep.
we're trying
Yeah.
to figure it out.
Yep.
And
Yeah. But with friends, I'm having a blast.
Yep. All right, Chris.
so
Did I say 7?
You said
did
7.
say 7.
Okay. Strong 7.
Strong 7.
Yeah.
Let me get rid of these ninja cards.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that one. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. Three times in a row with just the 3 of us showing up. It's kind of a bit of an oddity.
Yeah,
It
It just worked out that way?
It just worked out that way in this game.
yeah.
I mean,
Our usual crowd has not been coming, and just by dumb luck, it's been Sam, Chris, and I all for the last 3 sessions. So we've been able to go after this.
Yeah. And I mean, this sat on my shelf for 3 years, and we looked at it, and Sam looked at it and said, "Let me read up a little bit on that. That looks interesting." And it was just
off
kind
it
of
went.
a fluke because we were going to play. If we didn't play this, we'd be playing what, Thunder Alley?
Winner's Circle, I think, or something.
Yeah, Winter Circle needs to be, well, the next May Game-a-thon, we need to make sure that we get that recorded so that we can share our love for the game with everybody.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So did you put a number on this, Chris?
No, I didn't yet, but I give it a strong 7 as well.
Yeah, and I agree. I think this is very 7, and I think the standees. I think I like the art. All right, it's cartoony, but it's done really well, and I think the standees really bring that. It comes with minis as well, but the minis are gray, and that doesn't excite me as much. But I think some of the standees have actually. I think the art is a nice addition as well. I love the way the initiative works, where it's random as to who gets to go in what order, and I think that's kind of neat. Although Sam has figured out a way to reduce risk in that as well.
I
so
like
that he
the
always
ability
gets to
to
go
love
first,
the
no
ability.
matter what.
I like the ability to let you move around an initiative,
Yep.
and this is bad.
So
I should feel bad.
He just needs to figure out if he still wants to be a ninja after he found out that all of his ranged weapons.
I don't
just
want to
went
be a
range.
ninja.
So
I'm-
now he's
I'll
looking. He's going through the book right now while I'm talking.
I'll be
looking
an
for what's his
engineer
benefits.
or a beast trainer.
A beast.
I can't be a beast trainer. I
Doesn't
haven't taken
change.
level 1 fighter.
So
Dang.
well,
Maybe I'll
you
level up rogue.
No, your next level can be. First of all, you could use the hit points. So I have more hit points than everybody else by being a cleric. The wizard has like none.
16 now. I'm up to 16.
I'm at 20.
Yeah, the
I'll
archers
be
are
at
20.
18 now.
I'm at
18.
25, and I'm going to get more. I'm probably going to be 29 because I'm.
I won't have that
cleric
many.
classes. You get +4 each time. So, excuse me. So I have some strengths that you guys don't, simply because I can actually stand up and get hit. But I think this is a nice package. When you first pull it open, it's like, oh, there's a million cards, and they all have different categories, and you drop some in some places, but it all seems to work. I honestly get the feeling that somebody really play tested this and made sure that the functionality was there. So I like it, and I like the variable dice. I think there's 4 different colors of dice, and I think they have a lot of bring a lot of unpredictability to the game, which
a lot
I
of
think adds
character.
some dramatics.
Brings that character into the game.
You're right. I just don't like the variance.
Well, you don't like the fact that you get knocked out.
No, I don't care about getting knocked out. That's fine. That's on
he's
purpose.
fine with
He's fine
dying.
getting knocked
I
out.
He's
strategic dies.
You and I, we don't like getting knocked
don't
out.
like
So
that
we kind
one
of
bit,
avoid.
no.
It's a little avoidance of getting
I
shot by
burn
arrows.
through my hand every time.
I don't know if you've ever been punched in the head, Sam, but it kind of sucks.
I haven't,
It's not the
actually.
kind of thing you volunteer for.
Maybe you're just not role-playing your character right.
Maybe his character likes being dropped on his head.
That's right.
So, Adventure Tactics, Domianne's Tower. Domianne's Tower. I'm real happy with it. I'm glad you picked it up, Chris. And first of all, I'm glad I didn't, because this is a pretty pricey game. But it's been a great play. So I'm
You can find it. You can still find it on places. I think Amazon has it, and I've seen it on eBay and stuff. So it's around $100. I mean, it is a little bit of a pricey game, and then there's some expansions and stuff. But it's a good time. We've had 3 nights.
And we've
of
been
it.
playing the base game strictly, right? Just none of the add-ons.
Nobody's taken the 3
No,
bonus characters, which came with the Kickstarter.
The Time Mage, the Magic Blade, and the Engineer, who I might take just because I meet all of the requirements for
Be
it.
something a
but
little
we'll see.
different too.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, it's just so. I mean, I think the base game has been really enjoyable. I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we pulled it together.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
You get a turret pet if you're the Engineer.
See, that's the problem with playing with you, Sam, is you will always min-max, and the rest of us are just sort of spectators.